This weekend, there's a huge SEC matchup between Ole Miss and Oklahoma. We've got a ranked top 15 matchup this weekend. A huge game, 11 o'clock, ABC. Cannot wait for it tomorrow. Ole Miss and Oklahoma. The story here, I think, is Trinidad Chanlis versus John Mateer. Okay? These two quarterbacks have really burst onto the scene this year. Okay? Trinidad Chanlis came out of nowhere. Okay? He came from Ferris State, the D2, up in Michigan. No one expected him. John Mateer, he's a little bit more known commodity. He came from Washington State. He's been out of his mind the first few games, but then he got hurt, and he's kind of struggled ever since. His touchdown to interception ratio is very, very small. Very, very small. But he has shown flashes whenever he is healthy that he can be one of the best quarterbacks in the country. Trinidad Chambliss has been one of, if not the best quarterback in the country so far. How healthy is John Mateer? I think that is the main question of how Oklahoma's offense will fare this weekend, okay? Because their run game has not been good at all. Their leading rusher is Torrey Baylock at 391 yards. That's not very good. Where's Jay Knott been? Jay Knott, the transfer from Cal, he was supposed to be the feature back this year for Oklahoma. He's been nowhere to be found. Just hasn't shown up this year whatsoever. On the flip side, Quan Lacey, the running back for Ole Miss, has 618 yards. He has almost double the amount of rushing yards that Oklahoma's leading rusher has. That's where I think Ole Miss can kind of take over the game on offense. But on the flip side, Oklahoma's D-line. Oklahoma's D-line has 28 sacks already. Ole Miss has 10. Which side of the ball can take over the game? It feels like, for some reason, that the only part of the game that's going to matter is whenever Ole Miss is on the field with their offense. It feels like, Oklahoma's offense is good, right? But it's kind of a question mark on how good they can be. And I think it kind of depends. I think we know what Ole Miss's defense is. We know what Ole Miss's offense is. We know what Oklahoma's defense is. But we don't know Oklahoma's offense. I question how good they can run the ball, and I question how healthy John Mateer is. And I think that's why I would pick Ole Miss to win this football game. But it all depends on John Mateer and how healthy he is. Can he not throw 3 interceptions like he did against Texas? Can he take care of the football? Can he look like he knows what he's doing out there? You know what I mean? Can he take over the game with his legs? Maybe his arm isn't feeling good. Maybe his thumb isn't right. Maybe he can take over on the ground. Maybe we can get flashes of what we saw Jay Knott do at Cal last year. Maybe just a rush or two here to give him the ball to do what he did at Cal last year. He has not been anywhere. Jay Knott needs to show up for them here. I know he hasn't at all. I know Torrey Baylock is the guy that we should be talking about, because he is the leading rusher. But Jay Knott was supposed to be that dude this year, and he's been MIA. Can Oklahoma's offense do anything against their defense? I think that this game is going to go in Ole Miss's favor. I think it is, just because I think that Ole Miss will be able to run the ball good enough to negate Oklahoma's pass rush. And I think that Oklahoma's defense hasn't faced a quarterback like Trinidad Chambliss so far. I think Trinidad Chambliss can run the ball. I think he can move better than any quarterback that they've faced. I think that is going to cause them a lot of issues, being able to bring him down. Not only get to him, but bring him down. Because for it to be a sack, you have to actually tackle the guy in the backfield. And I think Oklahoma might struggle a little bit to actually do that. But Oklahoma is certainly good enough to win this game. Again, that D-line has 28 sacks already. That is impressive. They have one of the best defenses in the country. And I think if John Mateer hadn't gotten hurt, that I would be 100% favoring Oklahoma in this game. But I think that since he struggled ever since coming back from that injury, that I'm not 100% sure how good he will actually be for them. So my pick is going to be Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss is going to win this game. And I think that they're going to do it on Trinidad Chambliss, on his back, on him running the ball. I think that Quan Lacey is also going to be able to run the ball really well against Oklahoma. And I think that is how Ole Miss is going to win this game.